Get the papers rolling. Hot off the presses. Let me try and block out that light behind you. This is the Fantasy Flex. This is the Commissioner Flex. Basically bring you guys another week of the wrap-up show. Jeez, that light in the background is really pissing me off. But anyway, let's get into the standings. You got the American Division headed by the Tampa Bay Rays with a 3-0 record, the only undefeated in the team. Big ups to Mike on that one. Then you got the Yankees and the Dodgers tied all the way around at ones. Basically, that means you got a 1-1-1 record. We 1.5 games back. Then behind us, you have the Tigers and the Brewers, both with 1 and 2 records, no ties, and they're both 2 games back in the American Division. So we move on over to the National Division. National Division goes a little something like this. You got the Cardinals 2-0-1, got 1 tie on their record. Then you got the Phillies, same way, tied all at ones, 1-1-1. He's 1 game back, along with the Braves, who is also 1-1-1. Then you got the Mets, who are 1-2-0. He's 1.5 games back. Then you got the Giants, the only team in the league that doesn't have a win yet, at 0-2-1. Let me give a shout out here to Dan, aka the Tasman. Like I said, I took a poll. I noticed some guys haven't been signing in, but I do know they're active because I'll be checking on the wire poll and stuff like that, or the wire for the transactions. But shout out to Dan. I got with him this morning, you know what I'm saying? I got him to take over Detroit. I seen that Detroit wasn't taking care of their team. They hadn't signed on since, like, I don't know, I think it was like April 8th. So, I mean, the dude's from Detroit. The guy wanted the Tigers, and he wants to handle the team. He's already making moves. He already updated his trading block. So, just want to welcome Dan, a.k.a. the Tasman. That's how he's referring to himself right now in the chat row. Welcome to the league. Now, we get into Week 3's matchups. Those went a little something like this. You had the LA Dodgers taking on the New York Yankees. That wound up in a 7-7 tie. Then you had the Mets taking on the Brewers. Score on that one was 10-4. The Brew Crew take that one. Then you had the Tigers taking on the Rays. That was a squash match. The Rays taking that one 10-2. The Giants taking on the Phillies. That will also wound up in a tie, 7-7. Then we also had another tie split by different ways. You had the Braves and the Cardinals who also split, like I was saying. Their split, however, was a 6-6-2 split. Now, previewing Week 4's matchups, those are going to go a little something like this. You got the 3-0 Rays taking on the 1-1-1 Yankees. Then you got the 0-2-1 Giants taking on the 1-2 Tigers. The Giants are seeking their first win in this, so let's see if they can proceed. Then you got the 1-2 Brewers taking on the 1-1-1 Dodgers. The 1-2 Mets taking on the 1-1-1 Braves. The 1-1-1 Phillies taking on the 2-0-1 Cardinals. So, I mean, all the matchups and all the divisions are still pretty close, so it should be no thing. It's still competitive. Like I said, welcome aboard to my man Dan, who's taking over Detroit. And let me get into the league leaders. League leaders goes like this. I'll do these, throw these in there since I got time to spend, time to kill. And then I'll go out with the trophies and get into the dessert, as I like to call it. The league leaders goes like this. You got the runs leader in that's going to the Phillies. Get ready to hear the Phillies, because that's all you're going to hear. They're going to run away with the league leading categories. He's got 147 runs. Home runs, that's going to the Phillies with 45. Extra base hits, that's going to the Phillies with 112. Total bases to the Phillies with 433. RBIs to the Phillies with 150. And stolen bases, finally switching it up. That's going to the Mets with 35 stolen bases of the year. And then you got the average, that's going to the Dodgers with a 294 average. So basically the Phillies right now, Grand Slam title and everything right now. They're just locking it down. Now we move over to the pitching categories. Pitching category is going to go a little something like this. You got innings pitched. That went to the Rays with a 247 innings so far thus on the year. Strikeouts, that's going to the Rays as well with 203 strikeouts. Only man to crack 200 right now. Big ups to Mike on that one. Wins, that's also going to the Rays. 19 wins on the year so far. We're only going into the 4th week, so he's doing his job. Losses, I'll do that both ways. The Phillies are the best when it comes to that because they've only got 5 losses on the year. The Mets got 11 losses on the year, so they therefore have the most. ERA, that's going to the Giants with a 2.54 ERA. The whip is also going to the Giants with a 1.09 ERA. The saves holds, that's going to the Yankees with 22 save holds on the year. All right, the meat and the potatoes are through. Now we get up into the dessert, and that is the trophies. So the trophies goes like this. It might seem a little lopsided this week, but that's just motivation for everybody to get their teams running. Basically, in the trophies, we got, I was going to say Triple Crown, then I kept going through the trophies, and I'm like, damn, we got a Grand Slam champ this week. That's going to the Rays. The Rays has the I Get It In trophy. He's got the Going trophy, the Touch 'Em Up trophy, the Ribby trophy, and the Better Than Your Average trophy. So he's got basically every batting category when it comes to actually hitting the ball. The We Got a Runner trophy, that's going to the Brewers. The Can't See Me trophy this week is going to the Giants. The Iron Horse is going to the Mets. Top of the Mountain is going to the Phillies. Get 'Em Out the Game is going to the Mets. That Spells Relief is also going to the Mets. Throwing Up Donuts, that's going to the Brewers. The I Killed It and the This Week Stinker matchup, that goes to the I Killed It for the Rays, who got 10 categories out of 14, or excuse me, out of 12. And he beat the Tigers with a score of 10-2. And that's how that ran through on that. Want to thank you guys once again for tuning into the Fantasy Flex. Sorry about the, I guess I kind of screwed up there at the end with the trophies, because I didn't throw in how many, you know what I'm saying, how many runs they had and all that. I normally have that written down, but I guess I slipped up. I'll fix that next week. Tune in. This is Fantasy Flex. This is the Commissioner Flex. Flex out. Take it easy.